Hi. Every week, an investor asks me if it's just better to hold Bitcoin when compared to the broader alt ecosystem. It's not without reason. In the past 4 years, Bitcoin has broadly outperformed the majority of the altcoins. What I want to tell you here now is that this is changing. First, I want to take you down the history lane. Why did alts underperform Bitcoin over the last few years? Well, there are two main reasons. The first reason is simply regulatory clarity. Bitcoin and Ethereum were the only assets blessed and approved by the SEC, which allowed the proliferation of ETFs and massive inflows into these coins. Bitcoin specifically benefited enormously because of this. But the second reason is more sinister. The previous administration was extremely hostile to crypto. The US government used the banking sector to organize a sophisticated, widespread attack on crypto. Now, without getting into the nuances of what Operation Choke Point was, effectively, if you were a crypto founder or company, you were hunted by the regulators. Notices, fines, debanking, the threat of committing a crime without knowing what the rules were. Don't take my word for it. Here's a short snippet from Mark Andreessen, a partner at the prominent Andreessen Horowitz fund, talking about this.
Remember the crypto thing got like really, sort of everybody got excited and like NFTs and like all that stuff. And then it just like stopped.
Yeah.
And the reason it stopped is because basically every crypto founder, every crypto startup, they either got debanked personally and forced out of the industry, or their company got debanked and so it couldn't keep operating, or they got prosecuted, charged, or they got threatened with being charged. This is a fun twist. This is a fun little twist. So the SEC sort of has been trying to kill the crypto industry under Biden, and this has been a big issue for us because we're the biggest crypto startup investor. The SEC can investigate you, they can subpoena you, they can prosecute you, they can do all these things, but they don't have to do any of those things to really damage you. All they have to do is they issue what's called a Wells notice, and the Wells notice is a notification that you may be charged at some point in the future. Like you're like on notice that you might be doing something wrong and they might be coming after you at some point in the future.
Oh my God.
Okay. So
terrifying. That's the eye.
The eye of Sauron is on you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now trying to be a company with a Wells notice doing business with anybody else.
Oh my God.
Right. Try to work with a big company, try to get access to a bank, try to do anything.
That's what
Hopefully Mark's comment added some color on why alts underperformed Bitcoin over the last 4 years. Now what I want to tell you is that this has done a 180 after Trump. Today, we have the most pro-crypto administration in history, and finally, crypto can breathe, innovate, do M&A, and grow. Now, here are 5 major regulatory changes that have occurred since the Trump win. First, there's an executive order to support the industry. So compared to the previous administration that used various means and methods to strangle and choke the industry, now we have an executive order to support the industry, allowing it to flourish. Second is ending Operation Choke Point 2.0, which is what Mark Andreessen was alluding to. Third is a repeal of SAB 121, which effectively allows banks to custody and do business in crypto and digital assets. Now, in the past, banks had to jump through many hoops and get various different licenses to even touch crypto. This has all gone away, and now banks can start providing many services that are crypto adjacent. And we're already seeing some banks issue, commercial real estate loans backed by Bitcoin. Fourth, creating an SEC crypto task force to support the industry with clear regulatory frameworks. The incoming SEC chair has clearly mentioned that one of their core priorities is creating a legal framework for crypto, broadly the entire ecosystem. And finally, recently, as of last week, the Genius Bill was passed, which allows stablecoins to proliferate. And even the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, mentioned that stablecoins can allow the US manage its debt better, and expecting about a $2 trillion inflows into the entire ecosystem via stablecoins. We believe eventually these stablecoins will find their way into DeFi and the broader crypto alts ecosystem. It is because of these changes and regulatory tailwinds that I expect the altcoin sector to go up and to the right over the next few years. Historically, most altcoins could not distribute revenue or enact buybacks due to the fear of the regulator. Now we are seeing phenomenal protocols do buybacks and distribute revenue to users, and we expect this momentum to continue gaining steam. By way of comparison, Hyperliquid is a decentralized exchange that does more volume than Robinhood and Revolut within the Web2 ecosystem and crypto. Now, if you're seeing the press, Revolut actually made a lot of money on crypto trading over the last year, as per the public disclosures, and Hyperliquid does multiples of that. And here's the kicker. Hyperliquid uses 97% of all the fees it generates on its ecosystem to buy back its own token. If you look at it, Hyperliquid's performance year to date has phenomenally surpassed, the likes of Coinbase and the likes of Robinhood. And there's a stellar argument to be made that in the near future, you're better off holding a crypto coin that does aggressive buybacks of its own tokens versus a Web2 company or equity. And we expect more and more protocols to be doing this moving forward. Hopefully, Mark and I have been able to clarify why alts underperformed Bitcoin in the past. But the future looks much brighter, and we believe quality alts will outperform Bitcoin. We have completely revamped our strategy in light of the new administration and favorable regulatory tailwinds, and we are now concentrating positions in clear revenue generators and what we know are protocols that are poised to benefit the most in the crypto ecosystem from the proliferation of stablecoins and real-world assets. In short, we are going sector by sector and spending an enormous amount of time finding the top names and concentrating positions in them. Using our broader network, we are able to ascertain clear revenue generators and changes in governance that can lead to strong revenue accrue across the broader alt ecosystem. It is early days, but this strategy has already started to yield returns superior to Bitcoin, and we believe this momentum is going to continue. As an investor, if you still want exposure to Bitcoin, you can invest in our ACF or the Apollo Crypto Fund. It not only has Bitcoin, which is generating an yield, hence increasing your Bitcoin share over time, it also has a broad exposure to the fledgling alts ecosystem. If you prefer holding Bitcoins via ETFs and only want access to the growing alternate coins ecosystem, which I just discussed, then our ACFF is perfect for that, the Apollo Crypto Frontier Fund. It is a concentrated book of all the best names within the broader crypto alts ecosystem, which we think is going to outperform Bitcoin in the near future. Our lines and DMs are open if you'd like a call or to talk more about this shift. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.